What is going on, guys? Matt Downs with Daily Grind Fantasy Sports to help give you the edge for this NBA 10-game slate. Cannot wait to break it down. This video is officially sponsored by Jock Market. If you guys want to be entered into the $25 giveaway that we do every single Friday on this channel, please like, subscribe, and also comment your favorite GPP play for this slate. If you guys are brand new to this channel, we provide both free and paid content for all daily fantasy sports across all sports. If you could please show your support by hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, and of course smashing that like button for all of our future NBA content. If you would like to know more about becoming a better DFS player and taking down that big GPP, head over to www.patreon.com/DGFantasy for more information. On Patreon, we give advanced cheat sheets for all DFS sports on DraftKings. These cheat sheets include updated projections, ownership, and our overall favorite plays from slate to slate. We take it a step further by teaching you how to play fantasy sports like a shark, by showing you where the best leverage spots are to put you in the best spots to take down tourneys. Also included is our private Discord chat where you get to talk over the slate with everyone, including our coaches, to help build your lineups. Now let's go ahead and dive right into this NBA 10-game slate, but first we have to go over some Patreon success, and we had a lot of it last night. We had a $90 winner here, or $90 turned into $2,568.33 over here on FanDuel. Patreon success was absolutely incredible. We had, it looks like virtually 20 bucks turned into $572 here with this screenshot. We had $215 turned into $827 again on FanDuel, and then we had another takedown, looks like a $5 contest into $100, and then we also had some close GPP takedowns here from our coach, $100 into $440 and the $125, $25, and to $30. So congrats all the way around. If you guys want to jump on board, Patreon's only $20 a month. It gets you access to all of our leverage sheets, GPP plays, and cash plays for every single sport for every single slate. Now let's switch over to our NBA slate. Right now, it is a wasteland, guys. There's not too much to really be looking at. The same kind of injury news that we're used to seeing from team to team. But let's go ahead and go through it anyway. Right now, New York is without Mitchell Robinson, so that does give a slight boost to some of the big guys here from New York. With Orlando, we have Cole Anthony and Aaron Gordon still out. With Atlanta, we have Bogdanovich, Dunn, Hunter, and Rondo out. With Boston, we have Langford and Smart still out. With Houston, we have Gordon, Oladipo, Exum, and Wood out, so that definitely is going to be a team we're going to want to focus on there in Houston. With Philly, they are still without Milton. With Detroit, they're without Griffin, Hayes, and Okafor. Also take out Derrick Rose from the mix now from that team. With Chicago, we're without Hutchinson, Markkanen, and Porter. With Indiana, we are without Warren and LeVert. With Minnesota, we are without Culver and D'Angelo Russell. With Denver, we have a lot of pending injury news, so that's one team we're going to have to sit back and wait on. With Washington, we have Ish Smith still out for them. With Portland, we have Collins, Giles, McCollum, and Nurkic out. Nothing going on with New Orleans. With OKC, it looks like we have all the injuries back, with maybe the exception of Ariza and Hill. SGA is still questionable, so we're definitely going to be paying attention to that from OKC. With Memphis, we are without Jackson, Tilly, and Winslow. With Miami, we are without Bradley, Dragic, and Silva. Golden State, we are still without the big guys there. And then last but not least, with the Clippers, we are without Paul George and Batum. So let's switch over now to cover every single team and see what their picture looks like. So we know the Knicks are without Mitchell Robinson. That does give a slight boost to Nerlens Noel. Him on our sheet right now, he's a 5.7 point per dollar value. Don't mind him in GPPs. This is the lowest over under by far, a 210. So I would be wary in starting anybody from this contest. Again, it is expected to be low scoring, so but Nerlens Noel is my favorite. A 4.7K price tag. Don't mind that. Projected to play 30 minutes. And then the rest of these guys are just going to be GPP options. Maybe Julius Randle, 9.5K is a little too expensive. Going against Vooch is not the best matchup for him, but he's still averaging 1.35 fantasy points per minute here in this matchup, a 5.1 point per dollar value. Right now with Orlando, we still don't know what's going on with these guys. My favorite option right now, pending all this crazy injury news, is going to be Michael Carter-Williams. Without Cole Anthony, he is projected to play 29 minutes, averaging just under a fantasy point per minute, 0.9 to be exact, and he's a 5.7 point per dollar value here on the Orlando Magic. Again, this is the lowest scoring contest on the slate, so be wary about starting any one of these guys, but my favorite GPP option from this team is going to be Michael Carter-Williams. Switching over to Atlanta and Boston. Atlanta is without a couple guys. We have Snell, Hunter, Rondo, Bogdanovich, and Dunn all out for these guys. So my favorite option is actually going to be Clint Capella, averaging 1.39 fantasy points per minute, projected at 29 minutes, a 5.1 point per dollar value. Trae Young is also not that bad of an option, averaging 1.48 fantasy points per minute and projected 35 minutes. But again, this is a very good defensive team in the Boston Celtics, so these guys are just going to be GPP options for me. But Clint Capella does have the best matchup versus Daniel Tice. Switching over to the Boston Celtics, we actually have some decent value here. Daniel Tice at a 4.5K price tag is definitely one of the lowest price tags we're used to seeing from him, and projected in 27 minutes is probably going to be my favorite option here. But all these guys' price tags are a little too high for me, even with the absence of Marcus Smart. Yes, they do get a slight usage boost in Jason Tatum and also Jaylen Brown, but not that much to really sway my opinion on playing these guys. This is going to be a pace-up matchup, so I do like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and GPP's, but just GPP options for me here against Atlanta. Going down the list here, we have Houston without a lot of injuries here. Wood, Oladipo, and Eric Gordon are out for these guys, so it does give a huge usage boost to my favorite option on the slate, which is going to be John Wall. I think John Wall is cash viable right now despite his price tag increase at 7.8K. I think he's a fantastic option, projected at 34 minutes and a 5.9 point per dollar value. Also on the list is going to be David Nwaba, projected at 32 minutes, averaging just under a fantasy point per minute, also a 5.9 point per dollar value, so I do like him for value at a 4.3K price tag. PJ Tucker at 3.3K price tag has been getting a decrease in minutes as the season has gone along, so only projected 29 minutes. I'm going to be off of him quite a bit. Deshaun Tate averaging a little bit more than David Nwaba, and he's also playing one more minute projected wise. 33 minutes is what I have him projected at, and a 5.3 point per dollar value. My two favorite options from this team are going to be David Nwaba and John Wall. DeMarcus Cousins has been getting a drop off here in minutes, only projected 24, so I'm going to be off of him for cash in this or on the slate as well right now. Going down the list here from Philly, not too many injury news going on right now. We have Joel Embiid, who is technically questionable. Shake Milton is out as of right now, but that doesn't really impact the picture. If you guys want to take some stabs at some value plays, Danny Green at 3.9K and also Seth Curry at 4.6K. Comes out to a 5.8 point per dollar value, but those are going to be my only options that I'm going to be considering here from Philly. Going over to Denver, these guys are going to be in a pace-up spot, so I like all these options right now. Campazzo did a fantastic job last night at a 3.3K price tag, got 37.25 points, so we're going to be going back to the well, assuming these injuries do stay off the court. Right now, all these guys are questionable, so we're definitely going to have to take a look here a little bit closer to lock. But right now, he is cash viable, projected at 25 minutes. He's a 6 point per dollar value, and yes, Michael Porter Jr. burned a lot of people last night, but he's still a fantastic play. Projected at 32 minutes, a 5.9 point per dollar value, and a pace-up spot. Also, Monte Morris, if he does play, a 4.6K price tag and a 5.8 point per dollar value. And then also Jamal Murray becomes an intriguing GPP option. Did very well, was one of my favorite GPP options last night against Washington. I think he's a fantastic option against Washington tonight. And then Jokic at an 11K price tag does happen to be yet another good play here from Denver. So load up on the Denver Nuggets as of right now. All these guys are benefiting, hopefully without these injuries. If these guys are slated to play, then yes, I'm going to be off of these guys. But as of right now, we're going to expect that they don't play, and I am definitely going to be on the Denver Nuggets yet again. Going over to Washington, not too much going on here. Wagner, not that bad of a price tag here. 3.8K, 22 minutes, a 5.2 point per dollar value. But all these guys I'm not really on. We're looking for a competitive contest here. Right now, it's only a 3-point spread. If it is close, I'm going to be on guys like Bradley Beal and also Russell Westbrook if he does play the full minutes. But he did get a very aggressive price increase here, 10K price tag. So I'm going to be off of usually everybody here except for the Denver side of the ball. But on the Washington side, I'm just going to be a fan of Wagner as of right now. Going down the list here, we have Indiana versus Minnesota. These guys are going to be in a pace-up spot. McConnell has been playing more minutes, has been inserted into the starting lineup as of late. So I do like him here at a 5.6K price tag, projected in 30 minutes, and the best point per dollar value here on the Indiana Pacers team for me. The rest of these guys are going to be intriguing GPP targets like Malcolm Brogdon, 7.7K price tag, a 5.3 point per dollar value. Miles Turner also draws not that good of a matchup versus Cat, a 6.3 point per dollar value, and a 5.3 point per dollar value as of right now. Jeremy Lamb also, we love shooters and pace-up spots. He becomes an intriguing GPP option, but those are going to be the only good options for me. Sabonis is a little too expensive for my liking at a 9.7K price tag. Going over to Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns ends up being yet another good GPP option. Hasn't been really playing that well since coming back from injury. A 35-minute projection is what we have him at right now. Doesn't have the best matchup versus Sabonis as well. A 5.5 point per dollar value, but does benefit without D'Angelo Russell. We know Russell Russell is a huge usage guy. That's only going to go to guys like Karl Anthony Towns, Vanderbilt, Ricky Rubio. So it does give a slight boost to some of these guys. Anthony Edwards has been absolutely going off, so I do like him for GPPs, but just GPP options from me here from the Minnesota Timberwolves. And now let's hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Jock Market is one of the most innovative ways to play daily fantasy sports today. Just like the real stock market, Jock Market allows you to buy and sell players to earn profit based on their performances throughout the day and night. They are currently offering a variety of sports where you can enter their markets and buy them for potential gains. Unlike normal other DFS sites, once the slate starts, you can make numerous changes to your stocks by buying new players you think will continue to perform well or sell players you think are going to underperform.
Right now, they are running every sport with overlay, which gives you an easier chance to win than other major DFS platforms. Download Jock Market now on the App Store and use code DGF to receive a $20 deposit bonus. Be sure to subscribe here for all future Jock Market content. Now going over to the Detroit-Chicago game, not too much going on with Detroit. We're without a couple of guys. If we take a look at the injury report, we have Blake Griffin out, Hayes, Okafor, and obviously Derrick Rose. So that does impact the picture here. Delon Wright does get a slight usage boost. He's projected right now to play 32 minutes. We have him at a 5.2 point per dollar value, 33.25 projected points. And another option I do like is Jeremy Grant, 7.6K. We have him projected at 44.34 points. So that definitely is a very good price tag to have when you're projected that amount. So my two favorite options from this team are going to be Delon Wright and Jeremy Grant given the current injuries. But those are just going to be GPP options for me. I don't think that you have to prioritize them in cash. Switching over to Chicago, we were without Markkanen, Otto Porter Jr., and also Hutchinson. So when you take those guys off the court, it does give a slight usage boost to Zach LaVine. He's averaging 1.51 fantasy points per minute with these guys off the court, projected in 37 minutes, and he comes out to a 5.6 point per dollar value. Same thing with Kobe White. He does also get a usage boost, averaging 1.07 fantasy points per minute and 34 minutes. So at a 6.3K price tag, I love both those guys. This is expected to be a little bit lower scoring, a 220.5, but those guys are going to be very good GPP targets from my perspective. Going over to the highest over-under actually on the slate, a 235.5 between Portland and the Pelicans. Right now, Portland does benefit with these current injuries. Damian Lillard does average 1.48 fantasy points per minute with these guys off the court, so I do like him here in this matchup. A 10.3K price tag. Definitely don't mind him for GPPs. All these other guys are very, very cheap, like Gary Trent here, a 5.8K price tag in 37 minutes. But outside of just GPP options for me, don't really like these guys for cash. I don't think they're very safe. Like Derrick Jones is not a good fantasy point per minute player. Same thing with Carmelo Anthony and also Robert Covington. Switching over to the Pelicans, I actually do like these guys. These guys are going to be playing in a pace-up spot. Zion Williamson has been playing out of his mind, and I think he also has a great matchup tonight versus the Portland Trailblazers. He's been averaging 48, 44, and 51.75 points in his last three contests. Comes out to a 5.6 point per dollar value in a pace-up spot. Definitely don't mind him for GPPs. I do think he's going to be a little bit higher owned because people are finally starting to realize what Zion Williamson can do. This is coming off a back-to-back too, so he could have a potential rest game tonight. So if he does, then load up on Brandon Ingram, and vice versa. If Brandon Ingram to sit, then load up on Zion Williamson. But these two guys are great options tonight in a pace-up spot versus the Portland Trailblazers. Going over the OKC, we are still pending some injury news from these guys, SGA being one of those guys. Roby at a 4K price tag does come out to the best point per dollar value, but all these guys' price tags make them very hard to get to. Just GPP options for me here from the OKC team. Going over to Memphis, the exact same situation. These guys are all very expensive. John Morant at a 7.4K price tag is the lowest of all these options, a 5.6 point per dollar value, so I do like him the most. Joe Val, a 7.3K price tag, does pass the eye test. I actually do like that price tag, a 5.5 point per dollar value against OKC. And then also Dylan Brooks at a 5.6K price tag, but just GPP options for me here in this contest because this is a lower over-under at a 224 right now. And then going over to the Miami Golden State game, this is a great team to target because they are in a pace-up spot here. Jimmy Butler did get an aggressive price increase here. 8.8K is definitely the highest we've seen him all season long, but he's been absolutely crushing it in a pace-up spot here versus Golden State, so I don't mind him for GPPs. Same thing with Iggy and also Adebayo at an 8.6K price tag, but just GPP options for me here. And both sides of the ball, really. Damian Lee shows a 5.3 point per dollar value at a 3.5K price tag, so not that bad of a value play. Draymond Green probably benefits the most with these big guys being out for the Golden State Warriors. Then also Steph Curry is always in the mix here for a good GPP option. Last but not least, let's talk about the Utah Jazz and Clippers game. Right now, Utah is not benefiting without anybody off the court except for Mike Conley. He is questionable. If he doesn't play, then yes, I'm going to be on board with guys like Jordan Clarkson, Donovan Mitchell, and then also Rudy Gobert still has this very low price at a 7.3K price tag and a very good matchup versus the Clippers. So again, just GPP options for me, and then switching over to the Clippers. Taking a look from the top down here, we have Kwai Leonard expected to be back. If he is held out, then yes, I'm going to have more interest in the Clippers. But as of right now, he's going to be the only guy that I'm really interested in at a 9.9K price tag. Yes, Zubac is also pretty cheap at a 4.7K price tag. And then Ibaka at a 5.2K price tag. So that really covers the entire slate, guys. Right now, we are still waiting for a bunch of injury news. We will be covering everything with our pre-lock live show. So hopefully you guys can show up for that. And that will end our breakdown, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do hit that subscription button, notification bell, and of course smash that like button for all of our future NBA content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.